So today we're going to be talking about some interviewing skills, and we're going to touch on SOLER skills. So SOLER. So S stands for sitting upright and toward the client. O stands for open body posture. Don't have your arms crossed or your legs crossed. It gives the idea that you're not really engaged or listening to the client. You're not interested in being there. L stands for leaning, so leaning towards the client. Eye contact for E is very important because, again, it lets the client know that you're listening and that you're engaged. And then R is for relaxed. So if you stay relaxed, the client's going to feel more relaxed. The next skill that we're going to talk about is the use of open-ended questions. Now, open-ended questions encourages the client to speak more than a simple one-worded answer, and it gives the opportunity to provide more detail and more unexpected insight into the client more than a closed-ended question would. So, for example, if I said to my client, "Do you think that drinking is the biggest problem? Is your biggest problem?" If he says yes, that's it. That's the end of it. I don't have any more insight. However, if I ask him an open-ended question, such as, "What do you see as being the biggest problem?" he can then come tell me what he thinks it is and why he thinks it is, and it just gives me so much more insight than a simple yes or no question would. The next skill we're going to be talking about is the use of paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is when you rephrase the main content that the client has stated. Now, if I have a client who says to me, "I'm worried that the meds are going to make me feel less productive and then I'll be even worse off," I could paraphrase that into saying something like, "It sounds like you're concerned with how your body's going to react to the meds and how that's going to affect your daily schedule." That way, I'm paraphrasing what he has said, and he can correct me if need be. The next skill that we're going to be talking about is summarizing. Now, summarizing is similar to paraphrasing, but it covers a longer time frame than paraphrasing does. And it's combining the main points and reflecting back those main points towards the end of the session, so the client has the chance to correct you if need be. Now, if your client does correct you, that is a good thing. That means that you have built a rapport with them to where they feel comfortable correcting you when you're wrong. So let's say that I have a client who has been talking about how there's just a lot of things going on in his life that are very stressful to him. He doesn't know how he's going to manage those things. I would, towards the end of the session, summarize that to him, and I would say, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed by different changes happening all at once. You're concerned about how you're going to manage the task of going to treatment, going to counseling, going to daily AA meetings, while still looking for employment. And you're worried about how you're going to manage and maintain all of these new responsibilities that you didn't have before." So this reflection back to him lets him know that I'm listening. That I'm listening, but it also gives him the opportunity to add more or to correct me if I got anything wrong. So summarizing is a really great skill to utilize during an interview with a client. Lastly, we'll be talking about active and reflective listening, and this involves fully concentrating on what the client is saying and how they're feeling, and it increases our understanding of the client to clarify their thoughts and reflect back. So with reflection of content, you're listening to the client and reflecting back in the essence of the content. And with reflection of feeling, you're highlighting the feelings that are being expressed by the client. So an example of this would be is if my client said to me, "I don't understand why I waited so long to get help, and now my family is paying the price for it." I could say something like, "You're upset with yourself for waiting so long, and now you feel like you're hurting your family." All right, so that is the sum of our video for today, and I really hope that you learned something. Thank you so much.